Death. It's the ultimate unknown, the end of our physical existence in this world. While many cultures and religions have developed intricate beliefs and rituals surrounding death, the biological process itself remains a constant. It's a natural part of the life cycle, a transition that awaits us all. Our journey begins at the very moment the heart stops beating, marking the official end of life. From there, we'll trace the path the body takes as it undergoes a series of transformations driven by natural forces that break down tissues and ultimately return our physical form to the earth. Understanding death in its physical reality can be a way to demystify it and perhaps even lessen the fear that often surrounds it. It reminds us that death is not an abrupt end, but rather a gradual process of transformation. The moment the heart stops beating, a cascade of events unfolds within the body. Blood, which was once propelled throughout the body by the heart's rhythmic contractions, stops flowing. With no oxygen being delivered to the cells, they begin to die. The brain, the command center of the body, ceases its electrical activity, marking the end of consciousness. One of the immediate changes that occurs is muscle relaxation. This includes the muscles that control our bowels and bladder, which can lead to their emptying. Without the heart's pumping action, blood begins to obey the laws of gravity. This pooling, known as livor mortis, is one of the first visible signs of death. Within a few hours after death, a phenomenon known as rigor mortis sets in. This is the stiffening of the body's muscles, giving the corpse a rigid feel. Rigor mortis typically begins in the smaller muscles, such as those in the face and jaw, and gradually spreads to the rest of the body. Muscle cells require energy in the form of ATP to function. After death, ATP production ceases. Without ATP, calcium ions build up inside muscle cells, causing the muscle fibers to lock into a contracted state. Rigor mortis typically reaches its peak within 12 to 24 hours after death. A warmer environment can accelerate the onset and resolution of rigor mortis. After reaching its peak, rigor mortis gradually subsides as the muscle fibers begin to break down due to decomposition. As rigor mortis sets in, another post-mortem change takes place. Livor mortis, also known as post-mortem lividity, this refers to the settling of blood in the lower parts of the body due to gravity. As blood is no longer being circulated, it pools in the capillaries and veins of the dependent areas. Livor mortis becomes visible as a reddish-purple discoloration of the skin in the dependent areas. The areas where the body is in contact with a surface will remain pale due to the pressure preventing blood from pooling there. Livor mortis provides valuable information to forensic investigators. The pattern of discoloration can help determine the position of the body after death and whether it was moved. Alongside livor mortis, the body undergoes algor mortis, the cooling of the body after death. Without the body's internal mechanisms to regulate temperature, it gradually cools down to match the temperature of its surroundings. Decomposition, the process of the body breaking down into simpler substances, begins shortly after death. While rigor mortis and livor mortis are primarily physical processes, decomposition is largely driven by the activity of microorganisms, primarily bacteria. These bacteria, which are naturally present in our gut and on our skin, seize the opportunity to multiply and feast on the nutrient-rich environment of the deceased body. The early stages of decomposition are marked by a process called autolysis, which literally means self-digestion. Enzymes within cells, no longer kept in check by the body's regulatory mechanisms, begin to break down the cells themselves. As autolysis progresses, the bacteria continue to multiply and spread throughout the body. They break down tissues, releasing gases such as methane, hydrogen sulfide, and ammonia. These gases contribute to the bloating of the body and the foul odor associated with decomposition. The environment plays a significant role in the rate and progression of decomposition. As decomposition advances, the body undergoes a process known as putrefaction. This is a more advanced stage of decomposition characterized by the breakdown of proteins and the liquefaction of soft tissues. The body takes on a greenish-black discoloration and the odor becomes increasingly pungent. Insects, particularly flies and beetles, are attracted to the decomposing body and play a crucial role in the breakdown process. They lay their eggs on the corpse and the hatching larvae or maggots feed on the decaying flesh. Larger scavengers such as rodents and birds may also be attracted to the carcass, further contributing to its decomposition. Over time, the soft tissues of the body are consumed by bacteria, insects, and scavengers. What remains is the skeleton, the most durable part of the human body. Skeletonization, the process of all soft tissues being removed, leaving only the bones, can take anywhere from a few weeks to several years, depending on environmental conditions. While the physical process of death and decomposition is a universal experience, what happens after death, in terms of consciousness or the soul, remains a mystery. Near-death experiences, reported by individuals who have been clinically dead and then revived, offer tantalizing, though subjective, glimpses into what may lie beyond. People who have had near-death experiences often describe similar experiences, such as a sense of peace, a feeling of leaving their body, seeing a bright light, or encountering deceased loved ones. While some scientists attribute these experiences to physiological changes in the dying brain, others believe they could be evidence of consciousness existing independently of the body. Ultimately, the question of what happens after death remains a matter of personal belief. Cultures and religions around the world have developed their own unique beliefs and rituals surrounding death and the afterlife. Some believe in a heaven and hell, while others believe in reincarnation or the continuation of consciousness in another form. Regardless of one's personal beliefs, understanding the physical process of death can provide a sense of grounding and acceptance.